Hello, hello, hello. So what's up, everyone? I'm gonna introduce myself real quick. My name's Lewis, and this is the beginning to my new channel on YouTube. I have a few channels, but none of them have really done anything. So I thought I'd do something new. So this channel's basically like quick introduction. I don't really have an introduction video, but this channel's basically gonna be about self improvement, sort of. So, anyways, let's begin. So my name's Lewis. Um, Today we're going to be talking about dealing with heartbreak because it's something that affects men all around, and obviously my opinion and my feelings or whatever don't go for every single person out there, every single man. And this video is going to be geared towards men, well, because I'm a guy, so that's how it's going to go. So I do have a I do have a little document, and I will be adding to this document, getting rid of it, getting rid of some stuff maybe if they don't make sense. I'm gonna read through this with you guys. So, heartbreak. So my experience with heartbreak, I've only really gotten my heart broken once, really, really, really badly, and honestly, I'm still going through that, still getting better, still trying to pick myself up and work on improving myself and all of that thing. And hopefully, I could share some tips with you guys. So, um, the thing with me, I guess, is I've gone nights, hours, and hours reading articles about heartbreak and what I'm feeling. Because sometimes I don't even know what I'm feeling, and that's just me being honest. I do not know what the fuck I'm feeling sometimes, and I don't know how to manage that sort of, how to explain it to you guys. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've gone through the same thing, that's probably why you clicked on this video, is because you need to find out what the fuck to do. So I'm gonna share some things that I read on articles and you know things that I do to help myself feel better. So I was gonna start off with a self improvement video, like I don't know, fashion tips or how to dress better, how to look better, and all these sort of things. But I thought it would be better to do like a video about picking yourself up. So dealing with heartbreak, and then later on, I can make a video about improving yourself and dressing better and bettering yourself, getting like a better version of yourself. So honestly, I'm gonna give you guys my sort of definition of heartbreak. So heartbreak is that sort of like feeling of pain, I guess, of loss inside of your heart. Like you kind of feel like your heart, which is supposed to be you, is broken. Like a part of you left, and that's sort of what it is. It can happen with a significant other. It can happen with, I don't know, a brother, sister, family, and maybe even pets. So I did have a dog that died a few years ago, and that was heartbreaking, right? I felt like a portion of me or something that gave me a bunch of happiness with my dog was taken away from me, and that's just sort of something that men or humans really in general have to deal with. And perhaps it's not the most devastating thing, losing a pet. It is definitely something that hurts a lot, but that's not the type of heartbreak that I'm talking about today. So I'm going to be talking about heartbreak about a significant other. So really don't want to get too much into my personal details because that's my personal details. I will obviously talk about my personal experiences, but it's not going to be as like in depth as maybe some other channels do. So I did have a girlfriend at some point, and a few times during the relationship we broke up, we got back together, broke up, got back together, and it was like a sort of cycle that we went through. And obviously that's detrimental, that breaks you down. If you've ever gone through that, it's toxic, it's horrible. It literally breaks you down and makes you feel shitty. And although I'm not going to say I wasn't perfect, or I'm not going to say I was perfect, I wasn't the best person out there. It's just something that I just kind of have to accept that. That's basically how to do it. You just kind of accept it. I'm not going to play this sort of figure that I was perfect or that she was the one that fucked everything up. No, it was kind of mutual. We both fucked everything up. So that's kind of like a quick introduction about what happened with me. So you probably you probably clicked this video for advice. So I'm gonna go through some tips real quick because I understand that that's something sort of important, I guess. So, anyways, before actually before we even do this, do not pick up any fucking addictions. Don't go out drinking. I mean, yeah, maybe have like, I don't know, like a beer, because it does help. Honestly, it does help. I'm not gonna say I haven't drunk. Of course I've drunk, right? It does help a little bit, but don't pick up an addiction. That's just gonna make shit worse. It's gonna make a withdrawal effect once you finally quit, and that's just gonna bring back everything, and it's unnecessary, right? You're dealing with heartbreaks. You drink, and then you lose drinking after like a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then you go back to square one, except now you're at square one with your heartbreak, and you're also dealing with withdrawal from your alcohol. So don't pick up an addiction, nicotine, weed, none of that. Don't trust me. It's much better to be clean and healthier going through a sad part of your life than making something that gives you happiness, like dopamine, like a drug, and then have that withdrawal effect once you're feeling better. So don't do that. Um, I did have a nicotine addiction. It's just not. It's not good. It took a lot. It took a lot to quit. Like I'm clean. What, since November? So December, January, February, March. I'm clean. I'm clean 4 months, and I have not thought about going back. I mean, I've been clean before, like, I don't know, 2, 3 months. I've always gone back, but not anymore. I haven't thought about it. I don't have my friends vaping around me anymore. Everyone's quit, so that also helped, having your close people quit. So, anyways, one thing that you could do is you could work out. I mean, I started working out. I'm not gonna say I'm huge, but I don't want to say I'm skinny either, because I don't think I'm skinny. So you gotta work out, and the reason why I say you gotta work out is, first of all, you build a better self confidence, self image. Every time you look in the mirror, you start seeing your progress, and then that sort of working hard and beating yourself up and getting bigger, getting stronger, can translate into mental strength. I mean, if you're building a business at the start, you're not gonna see any progress, right? But then you're gonna fucking beat yourself up over it, push harder, as in pushing harder weights, and then you're gonna end up seeing results. So it sort of translates. It's good. Increases your testosterone, increases your self-image, increases like your attractiveness level, and all those things. So there's nothing really bad about it. You also do not want to get into like steroids. I mean, you can obviously do whatever the fuck you want, but my recommendation is don't, because don't. I mean, that's just a lot of side effects. You could research that on yourself. You could research that by yourself. Another thing you could do is you could get a hobby. You could start. I don't know. I play guitar. That's my hobby. I like watches. Um, I like reading. At least I used to like reading. I haven't really read in a little while. I like reading. I like studying. I like learning new things. Right. It's just that sort of distraction from the heartbreak, right? That's what I did. I distracted myself. I mean, I'm not 100% better. I'm not 100% over her, but it's definitely fucking helped a lot. Another thing you can do is Another thing you can do is you can go out with your friends. I mean, you have to have that sort of if you guys have watched Entrepreneurs in Car, he's talked about a brotherhood. You got to have that sort of brotherhood. Your friends are never going to just leave you, unless obviously you're a dickhead, but they're never just going to drop you for no reason. At least the majority of the time, they're always going to be there for you, especially as a guy. Your guy friends are always going to be there, right? And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And whenever I'm feeling sad, I'll call up my friend Nicholas. I'm like, "Yo, let's hang out. Like, I'm not feeling too well," and then he's always down for that. He's a really good friend. Same thing with my other friend Zaid. He's a really good friend. I mean, I have like two friends right now, honestly. Two friends, maybe three, four, five if you count those people. But sometimes they're not there, right? They have their own group of friends, their own life, and whatever. And we're friends, but we're not close friends. That's what I'm trying to get at. You need close friends. You get to go out with your close friends, go out to eat, go out on a walk, have them over. I don't know. My friends sometimes we go on Omegle, we talk to other people there. So I guess that social interaction is definitely helps you out. It does help you out. So another thing you can do is you can listen to podcast videos. So you can, I don't know, go on Spotify, listening to a podcast about self improvement. You could watch a motivational speech. You could watch YouTube channels, and I'm gonna mention those later on. You could do that sort of thing, because you're not alone. That's important to know. You are not alone in this sort of thing. Every guy above the age of probably 15, 16, 17 has gone through some level of heartbreak. Of course, as you go older, you have more experience. You've gone through more things, right? Some people go through way worse heartbreaks than other people. I mean, comparing losing my dog to the problems I had with my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, those are much, much different. The level of heartbreaks were immensely different. I mean, I cried about my dog like once the day after, and I've cried over my ex double digits, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 times, even 6 months over our first breakup, because that sort of thing's not easy. It's not easy to get over, right? It can take years to get over someone. That's also something I know, I'm aware I'm dealing with, one-itis, and I'm gonna get into that later. Essentially it's like having this, here, I'll just search it up here. One-itis. So, an unhealthy romantic obsession or fixation on a person, this mental disease will often interfere with your ability to attract said person due to your clinginess. So, obviously, it's when my one-itis isn't sort of one way; it's two ways, and it takes a lot of effort to not give in. It's unhealthy. It fucks up my mental health a lot. That's like, I'm just finally starting to understand that it is an obsession, right? Or it is a fixation on one person. I mean, the first time we broke up was in November, and that was like 4 months ago. Well, the first real breakup we sort of had, we threatened to break up before that, but you know what I mean, right? So, anyways, um, going back to podcasts, listen to podcasts, right? Other people have gone through the same thing. Other people can help you out. I'm not the only person, and I said I was going to talk about the other YouTubers later, and I will. So, watch motivational speeches. So there is this motivational speech. I don't really remember what it was. Let me search it up real quick. I think it was an army general motivational speech. I don't know if it's about Heartbreak specific. This guy, Admiral McRaven, is fucking amazing, right? I'll post the link in the description. Let me just put that right here. So, he definitely a motivational video that I recommend watching. And now for the YouTuber, so entrepreneurs in cars. Um, I don't know him personally. My best friend that I mentioned earlier, my really close friend, has met him before, and he has friends that are friends with him. So I mean, our connections aren't necessarily that far. I mean, I could probably hit him up if I went through one or the other, but you know, I don't think I'm big enough to ask him for a collaboration because, well, fuck, this is my first video. But yeah, entrepreneurs in cars, really amazing guy. Or if you've watched any of his videos, he's really helpful. He's really wise. He's read a lot of books. He's gone through so many experiences. I'm pretty sure he's gone through divorce. He's gone through basically everything, I guess, at this point. I get, like, regarding women and heartbreak. So he's definitely someone you should also watch after this video, of course. Next person, next YouTuber, Alpha M, Aaron. Very good guy, very great videos. The only thing I don't really like about him and Teaching Men's Fashion, which his name is Juan, I think, is they have a sponsor in every single one of their videos, and sometimes that can take away the authenticity, or the, I don't even know if genuality is a word, but I hopefully know what I'm trying to get at. So I do listen to them, but also with a grain of salt, because sometimes you don't know if it's sponsored or not. Not trying to throw any shade. I understand, like, it's a business, right? Their YouTube channel is a business, so they have to make money out of everything. But my recommendation: watch them, but also try to really focus as to what they're saying, so you don't get a hidden advertisement, and that sort of thing. So another thing is, you can dress better. Put on a really nice shirt, really nice pants. Like, actually focus on what you're wearing and go outside. Feel confident in yourself. Feel confident in what you're wearing. You can always hold on, take second opinions, but be confident in what you're wearing, and that'll go a long way. Trust me. So another thing is, you can invest in yourself. So what I mean about this is working out. I mentioned that earlier. Dressing better, treating yourself. You could buy yourself, I don't know, a new watch. I bought myself a new watch here. It's the Orient Ray 2, and I would put an affiliate link, but I don't want to ask my parents for my SIN number. But it's this watch. It's really fucking nice, right? It doesn't cost too much. It costs like 172 Canadian, also with customs and taxes. It was like $211, which is a lot, I guess, but relative to other watches, it's not really that much. It's a really good price for value. As you could watch a video on it. Really, it's called the Orient Ray 2. You could watch a ton of videos on them. It's an amazing fucking watch. It looks beautiful. Looks much better than what it actually like is, and the materials are great. And I'm not going to continue advertising their products, but you know what I'm saying. um you could meditate. I mean, the thing with meditation is you could really figure out what you're thinking. You could really figure out what you're going through. You could figure out why you feel that way. You could really clean your mind and kind of find this place inside of yourself, I guess, where you can just kind of talk to yourself without any sort of emotional bias or any like, you know, some anything like any factor that's altering the way you're thinking. So, um, I definitely suggest meditating. Honestly, I definitely suggest meditating. So, you could also take time. This also goes back to meditating, taking time to figure out how you're feeling, because sometimes you don't know what you're feeling. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the time, I have no fucking idea. Like, I'll just feel sad and heartbroken, and all this shit. And I'm like, yo, it's been like 4 months, but shit, it happens, And sometimes, you don't take the time. I know a lot of people, and I caught myself doing this. I'd never take the time to actually think about how I'm feeling, and I'll do something impulsive. I'll hit my ex back up. I'll do stupid shit like that. So it's definitely something that is important, and I'm gonna start doing, and that's taking time to figure out how you're feeling. This one's a little bit of a truth bomb, hard pill to swallow. Everybody's replaceable. I'm replaceable. You're replaceable. She's replaceable. He's replaceable. It's it's just true. I mean, first of all, looking at it objectively, there is 7.8 billion people in the world, and you're telling me that that's the only person, or that that's the best one. Like, maybe, maybe, maybe they are the best one, but fuck, they're replaceable. I know Entrepreneur in Cars made a an analogy. Steve Jobs thought he was replaceable, and now fucking Tim Cook or whatever his name is running Apple. You know, even this multi-billion genius, multi-billion dollar worth genius, whatever, he's fucking replaceable. And you're gonna tell me that that person you met in fucking high school isn't replaceable? Like, no, I'm sorry. She is. He is. You are. I'm replaceable. Like I said, I know I'm replaceable. That's something I've just accepted. There's obviously a better guy out there, and she could find a better guy. And will that make me jealous? Yeah. I mean, yeah, probably, but fuck, I also gotta accept that. I also gotta accept the possibilities, right? And it's reality. It's not a fairy tale. It's reality. And reality is not perfect, and it's not good most of the time. Another thing you could do is you could, read some books. So, um, I've read a few books. I haven't finished reading all the books I have. I do have some books here I want to show to you guys, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But read some books, because honestly, there's this quote, forgot who said it, but a dumb person repeats his mistakes, a smart person learns from his mistakes, and then a wise person learns from other people's mistakes and other people's experiences. So, a book or an autobiography or something, you're definitely learning about other people's mistakes. You're learning life lessons from other people, people that lived in your lifetime or maybe past, or that sort of thing. And that definitely can help you, right? I mean, right now you're watching a video about some other person's experience. When you watch Entrepreneurs in Cars, you're watching somebody else's experience. Alpha M, all these people, you're learning from other people, and you're learning what they did to figure out what the hell you're going through, what the hell you're feeling, what the hell you're thinking. So definitely read some books. It can really carry you a long way. So another thing that I did is I got a job. First of all, getting a job makes you attractive, more attractive. It makes you look like you have your shit together, you have money, you're probably maybe financially smart, especially if you can afford a lot of things. I know this one girl that works in my job. Of course, she works more hours, she works full time, but she lives by herself, she pays her bills, everything, and like everything. She literally does not have someone paying. Like, she lives by herself. She's 20. She's 2 years older than me, 1 or 2 years older than me, and she's paying for her bus, her phone bills, her housing, her this, and in Toronto, fucking housing is not cheap, right? So you got to be smart with your money. So get a fucking job. Get a job, make money. Money's not going to leave you undelivered. That's 100% sure, unless you fucking get your bank on hold. So money's not going to leave you undelivered. It's going to help you out a lot, and can help you treat yourself and take your mind off of these sort of heartbreaks. Um Fuck, get financially smarter. This goes back to getting a job. Get financially smarter, because First of all, if you have money to spend, you can go out with your friends. You can have a good time. You could distract yourself. You could buy something to, you can invest in a new hobby. You can invest in stock markets, in cryptocurrencies, or, normal NASDAQ sort of things, maybe penny stocks. It depends what you're into, or fucking Forex. You can do something that can benefit you. You're benefiting yourself. That's what I'm trying to get at. Being financially smarter, benefiting yourself. So here I'm going to introduce the book. It's don't have an affiliate link, obviously, but it is The Richest Man in Babylon. Let me just hold that better. It's fucking amazing. So basically, it's just a financial sort of guide, but it says it in a, it tells a story in like a storytelling sort of way with like characters and that sort of thing. But it is very clear in the important parts of what you need to do, or some suggestions on what you need to do to get financially smarter, to live a good life of wealth and prosperity. So you should definitely pick up this fucking book. Another thing is make new friends. You don't. Some people don't have any friends, right? I'm not gonna say everyone has friends. Some people are lonely. So obviously, there's a difference between being alone and lonely. Entrepreneurs in Cars made a video about that. You should go check them out, and I'll link it in the description. Let me just pull that up right now. I love this guy, man. I love this guy. Just definitely has definitely what's it called, helped me out through a lot of things. So I'm gonna link that right there. So make new friends. And if you don't know how to make new friends, I'm also gonna introduce this other book. It is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It is amazing. It's a very business minded book. How to convince people, persuade. It's about persuasion, how to make friends, how to be a better person, how to act, how to do this and all this shit. It's a really good read, and I recommend it to you guys a lot. So another thing that's covered a lot is women should be a complement to your life and they should not be the focus. So this is fucking important because I find myself looking at other people that completely have their whole life focused on women. I mean, yeah, women are cool and everything, but at the same time, they can leave you in an instant. Like you'll think there's no such thing as a super loyal nice girl. Like even the nicest girls, like the moment, I don't know, maybe you drop in sort of social status, fucking leave you like that. And of course there are exceptions. I'm not saying all women, but the majority. And she's probably no different. And if I said she, I didn't say a name, and you thought about her, then you should reevaluate. That's your subconscious right there. So not the focus, but definitely a compliment, which is, it could be companionship, it could be, I don't know, fucking sex or some shit like that. Definitely something that can help you out. They could be your support. I'm not gonna say women are useless. They're fucking not. Women are amazing, right? And I don't want to I don't want to come off as like a misogynistic person. So let me just make this clear. I'm not saying women are unnecessary. Women are definitely necessary in society and in history and right now. And to every single person out there, to every single man, woman can sometimes be, actually, I don't want to say a necessity. Never have a woman as a necessity, but they could definitely help you out a lot. They could support you, and all that sort of thing. And I know I said that a few times, but whatever. You also got to know your value. Know your value as a person. I mean, take a second and just think about you. Who are you? What have you done? What are your hobbies? How good are you at your hobbies? How much money do you have? How much accomplishments? How many goals have you done? You got to understand that you have to know your value. Women date sideways and up. Social economically, I learned that from entrepreneurs in cars. I'm not going to claim that that's something that I came up with, although it's pretty obvious. You could see that in society. You don't see a woman go like, "Oh, look at that nerd in high school," for example. "Oh, look at that nerd over there. I'm gonna go date him." Like, no, that doesn't happen unless she's also a nerd. But you know what I'm getting at? They do not date down, sideways or up. So if they're a nerd, maybe they'll look at a nerd and go like, "Oh," by nerd I mean like super like focused person in studies. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but super focused person in studying that has no other social life. And obviously that's an extreme, but you know what I'm getting at. So you'd never see that, but then You'll see them going for fucking Chadwick over there, fucking rocking his huge biceps playing football. They're like, oh my god, Chadwick's super popular person. They'll go for them. But 10, 15 years down the line, Chadwick's a plumber. They're no longer going for them. They're going for the fucking nerd. They're going for the nerd that has a new Tesla. The nerd that's making $200,000 a year. That is who they're going for. And that is what I'm trying to get at. Women date sideways or up in social economic scale. And that's just the truth. So you got to know your value. If your value right now isn't high, then don't waste your time searching for a woman. Do not chase a woman, chase excellence. That is also another thing I got from entrepreneurs in cars. I watch a lot of their fucking videos. Um anyways, yeah, so don't go chasing. Try to remove emotion from your thought process. So what I mean by this is try to think critically and objectively. So a lot of the times I'll find myself thinking like with my emotions, like, oh, she used to, it's back to my personal experiences. Oh, she used to do this for me. She used to treat me like this. And yeah, she could treat me well, but a lot of the times she didn't. And I didn't treat her well either. I was not perfect either. I'm not going to say I was perfect. I'm not going to say it was entirely her fault. No, that's just not the truth. You got to be realistic, honest. That is not the truth. So that's bullshit. That's bullshit. When you're thinking in the past about a relationship, especially if you're still attached to them, it wasn't perfect. If you broke up, you guys broke up for a reason. Okay? Remember that reason. Like, really remember it. Drill it into your head. So you gotta remove, or at least try to remove emotion from your thought process, and you have to think fucking critically and objectively. You gotta really fucking think about why you guys broke up. And you gotta think about it with, no, you gotta think about it in the third person. Like, if you were somebody else, your friend, and you were looking at your relationship with that person, that's how you gotta look at it. So, obviously, this goes back to not being perfect. Um, if it was your fault, accept it and move on. Yeah, you could cry about it. It was your loss. It was probably your loss, but you have to accept it. You fucked up. Don't do it again. Learn from your mistakes. You could apologize, I guess. It's not probably not gonna save anything, and if it does, it's probably not gonna last. I know that from experience. Um, you gotta move on. And that's the hardest part. You gotta let go. You gotta accept that what once was isn't anymore. It's the past. And, my tone of voice went down because I still haven't fully accepted that. I mean, I have, but not to the extent where I can just completely forget about it. So if it was affecting your mental health, or if it is, then end it. That's really important. Um, if it's really draining you to the point where you're not eating, you're losing weight, you're losing sight of your goals, your future, your hobbies, and all of that things, and maybe you're doing permanent things for a temporary solution, whereas that can be self-harm or that sort of thing. You gotta think critically and objectively and remove the emotion from your thought process, and you're probably gonna have to end it. So that's what happened with me. I mean, yeah, she did a few scummy things, but the majority of the reason of why I ended it wasn't because of that. I forgave her. I'm still not 100% over it. It's one of the main reasons why I ended it, but it was also affecting my mental health, some things in the relationship. So I ended it. Was it my loss? Maybe. Was it her loss? Maybe. I don't know. But my brother told me this: you have to be selfish with your happiness. You have to be fucking selfish with your happiness. You cannot let yourself get dragged down because your significant other isn't good or isn't in a good place. First of all, if you have a relationship and one of you isn't mentally ready, it's not going to work out 100% of the time. 99.99999% of the time it's not going to work out. And I guess an analogy that I came up with was trying to grow a plant with broken roots. It's going to die. It's going to die. It's never going to be complete. I remember my third grade teacher told me this one time that she had a big tree in her front lawn, and some people that were doing garden work, I think, in her front lawn had to dig, or they had to take out the tree for a little bit, and they accidentally broke some roots, and the complete like top peak of the tree was like a pine tree, died completely. The rest of it was fine, but the top died. Just wasn't there. So that's what I'm getting at. You're never gonna have a complete relationship. You're never gonna be fully happy. Obviously, you're never gonna be fully happy regardless. You're never gonna be fully happy in a relationship regardless. But you're never gonna have. It's never gonna be a healthy relationship. Is what I'm getting at. If one of or both of you guys aren't mentally ready or mentally okay or in a good position, so you gotta be selfish with your happiness. If you know it's you that isn't mentally ready, you gotta be honest. You gotta tell them, you know what, I need some time. It's not your fault. That's literally me. I'm not mentally ready. I'm not mentally mature enough. I'm not ready to handle these emotions. I need to have time to really figure out what I want or figure out what I'm feeling. And you have to tell them, you know what, like it could be a break or something. It doesn't have to be a complete breakup, and you have to make that clear, because if it's just a break and they go off with someone else, then you're going to be even more fucked up. So if you're really taking your relationship seriously, you got to be clear about what you want. You don't say break up and then say, oh, it's just a break. No, you say you want a break because of this and this and that. Okay. So anyways, uh think about, I already kind of talked about this. Think about why it didn't work out. Maybe you weren't mature enough. So maybe it was your fault, right? I see a lot of my friends or ex-friends or acquaintances talk about their exes, saying like, "Oh, fuck that bitch. It was this and that and this and that and this." It's bullshit. I see right through it, especially with the type of people they are. I could see right through it. I can almost guarantee you that it was their fault, or a majority, or maybe equal, but it was 99% of the time not the woman's fault, just their fault. And I'm not saying that in a simping sort of way, but I'm just being realistic. A lot of guys bullshit about this sort of thing. They try to create this perfect image of them being this complete alpha male, when in reality they're just a fucking pussy, and they can't accept the reality, and they can't accept the truth, and they can't own up to their mistakes. And I know I'm sounding pissed off, and that's because it is something that pisses me off, right? So you got to really understand and be mature. You got to be able to accept, like, it didn't work out because maybe I wasn't mature enough. Maybe you weren't mature enough. Maybe you did something wrong, right? So, anyways, enough about that. Now, how to this goes back to like getting better. So you could always treat yourself. You can, like I said, I got a new watch, or I went out to eat with my friends. I hang out with my friends, go on Amigo, that sort of thing. We get food together. We go on walks. We walk my dog sometimes, and I do things to clear my mind. And your friends can definitely be there to help you out for that sort of thing. So this kind of goes back to meditating and finding out your true feelings, because a lot of the time you don't know what the hell you're feeling, and that's just because heartbreak isn't something that's easy. It is something that you could just identify, and there isn't a prescription for it. There isn't a direct prescription for it. So you can go ghost. This essentially means just completely disappear from any social media or any interaction with your friends. You obviously got to make that clear to your friends, your close friends, the ones that are really worried about you, your family. um Listen, guys, I'm going through a hard time. I want to go on like a little self alone sort of journey, I guess, to figure out my true self and get better. You could take a month, 2 months, 6 months, and you could work out, you could meditate, you could do a bunch of things, and go ghost. That's what it means. Then you can come back and express your new self. So this kind of goes to getting over her. Try to limit contact with her. Or yeah, try to limit contact with her or him. I doubt there's any people dating guys watching this, because I don't think that's the type of, anyways, whatever. Yeah, try to limit contact. Get rid of things that remind you of her, whether it's like I don't know, like a stuffed animal, or like change your bed sheets, or maybe rearrange your room, or block them on social media, or if you want to go ghost on social media, that sort of thing. If you played games with her, like maybe don't play them for a little while, or I don't know. That's something that is subject and not subjective. Yeah, subjective. It changes to every individual person, right? You also got to look for signs of one-itis. So one-itis is that unhealthy attachment to a person. So you got to actually start looking at yourself and how to diagnose what you're feeling. And although it's really difficult, you could look up signs of oneitis or toxic behavior, or BPD, which is borderline, or BPD, borderline personality disorder. So you could also look for signs of toxic behavior in yourself or in that person. You gotta be honest with yourself too. Find out the truth. Now, okay, this part's really important, and it goes somewhere over here about not being biased and like removing your emotions from your thought process. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to find out the truth, the reality. And whenever you think about the relationship and how it was and how good she was and all of that things, you got to remind yourself about the truth and why it didn't work out, and of all the bad things that either of you guys did, or all the reasons of why you're incompatible. Okay. And every time you think about that, you remind yourself, okay, no, 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 this happened. She did this. She talked to this person. It was only this and that and that and that and that. And that should help, maybe help you clear your mind. Another thing I want to recommend to not do is do not go flirting with a bunch of other women. I mean, you can obviously, but you also don't want to do that, because I feel like that can develop another unhealthy attachment, especially if you're going through a recent breakup and you do not want another unhealthy attachment. It's only going to be much worse, because it's kind of like a taking drugs, the unhealthy addiction part, because you're going to end up getting better. You're going to drop that person, or maybe they'll drop you, and now you have to go back to square one and also deal with the withdrawal effects. So you do not want to do that. Also, you never, you could feel what's it called, this is actually a really popular thing, is feeling like you're cheating on your ex. It doesn't make sense at face value, but sometimes you feel like you are attached to someone, and you talk to somebody else, even if you broke up and you talk to somebody else, and you feel like you're cheating on them, like you're doing something behind their back, and even though it's none of their business anymore, you still feel that way. So you got to really be careful about your feelings. You don't want to fuck up your feelings anymore. Something that does happen to me whenever I'm feeling really bad and I'm working out is I'll have an emotional response, an emotional release, where I'll just like be pushing myself to the limit, and then I'll do the last rep, and then I'll let everything out, and then I'll start crying. And it's therapeutic, I guess. It does make me feel a lot better, but that's just something that happens. So if that happens, expect it, I guess. Anyways, I really hope you guys get better. I know this is a long video, 37 minutes, 37 seconds or some shit like that. So hopefully I helped you guys out. I'll try linking some articles in the description if I remember. I really hope you guys get better, obviously. If you guys need anything, I'll put my email in the description if you guys want to email me or something, or contact me for whatever. I can try to give you some, feedback, I guess. I don't know if I'll make a video about it, because I feel like that would be copying entrepreneurs in cars, but I'll definitely try to look at it if this does actually become something that I'm really into. So, um, yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and stay strong, fellas.